Welcome back to Heavy Metal Gaming. Okay, so the video I wanted to check out about the Spider-Man online multiplayer game, right? That that shockingly was canceled, correct? So one thing I want to point out, Sony cannot make multiplayer games at all. For their life of them, they cannot make multiplayer games. They cannot. The only thing Sony can make is single player, camera over the shoulder, single player games. Sony cannot do multiplayer. They cannot. Nintendo beats the shit out of them with it, and Microsoft has the money to do both. It is absolutely sad that people are actually capping and actually happy about this. It's literally mind-blowing to me. This one just got canceled. And then we're also looking at the Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 factions that got canceled as well. Or maybe the factions with the first game. Either way, Sony cannot do live service games. They cannot do multiplayer at all. So let's see what's going on with this. That, of course, got canceled before it was about to come out. Because that's what Sony does.
Posted this trailer, but it seems like either a hacker or a developer had access to it and basically was like, here's what we've been working on. We wish we got to release it.
Of course, and Sony canceled it because Sony is scared.
It's actually kind of insane, but let's talk about that.
It is insane.
I'm Dreamcast Guy, and I hope you're having a good
day. Yeah, we know who the fuck you are. Yes.
Note, I've been talking a bit here and there about my father battling cancer. He won. He beat it. He is cancer-free. He had his last treatment.
Okay.
He did some scans. He's got to do some follow-up stuff, and he's got some damage to like his throat and ears and stuff. But
okay. Definitely happy for him. That's so wonderful. Happy. Okay, good.
Very happy to be talking about video games. I'm just grinning my freaking face off. But,
okay.
Okay. So the project was called Spider-Man: The Great Web, and I can't.
That got fucking canceled.
I'll get copyright
because Sony don't know what the fuck they're doing. The PlayStation 5 has been a complete failure since since day one. Let's just be honest with this shit.
During the trailer, it showed them all fully voiced, fighting, animated. It had freaking Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. It had freaking Scarlet Spider, and it's so much awesome. Multiverse opened by Scarlet Witch, character customization and options, diverse range of heroes. Leaked trailer looks quite.
But here's the question to think about, right? Why is Sony incapable of releasing multiplayer games? They won't give us Killzone. Then again, this goes back to gamers play games. Fanboys do not. They play Twitter. All they want to do is bitch on Twitter. Our plastic box is better than yours. Our plastic box is better than yours. It's like, stop regurgitating the same bullshit. Like, the funny thing is you also have these grown-ass adults that are whining and complaining about, oh, my plastic box is better than yours. What the These are people that are adults with children. How the hell they're married, I have no fucking clue. But somehow they magically are able to be married and have kids, and yet they have all their time on Twitter and to play on their plastic box. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me.
Advanced and almost
amazing.
Finished, ready to market.
Okay.
So this looked crazy good because it's based around this multiverse.
Okay.
In the trailer, they actually did the freaking Spider-Verse portal and showed them jumping from reality to reality. And in it, it showed a different version of Doc Ock. It showed Mysterio. It showed a bunch of people that we've battled against in the games we've had so far. Obviously, Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales. But even better, it was...
Shocked he ain't holding up the fucking controller while he's at it.
Said, you hear the voice of freaking Peter Parker, and you hear the voice of Miles Morales being like, hey...
Oh, okay.
This is a job bigger than just us. And they start ripping open portals and jumping to other realities. It looked incredible. And I think that's part of why people are kind of confused.
And you're not going to get to play it, thanks to Sony.
People saying, hey,
so they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Sony is completely out of touch with reality.
Probably because it's another AAA live service game. Currently, it seems like PlayStation is in a bit of a weird spot where
They don't know what they're doing, and they've completely abandoned their damn system, pretty much.
A lot of these mega companies, Microsoft, freaking Nintendo to a lesser extent, but things like Tencent and, I don't know, freaking Steam, everybody wants to have a live service game. Everybody wants to have a game that people are going to be buying microtransactions, logging in forever, right? I mean,
yes, okay.
It's the Fortnite model. You want to constantly have seasons of content that get people coming back and spending money forever and ever and ever. And now
that's why everybody has a PS5 plays Call of Duty. Yes.
Very recently, there's the Spider-Man game that's completely been canned, even though it looks done to my eyes, and of course, Last of Us Factions, which was also
Sony
and just got scrapped.
PlayStation does not know what they're doing. That is obvious. PlayStation has dropped the ball so many fucking times.
A good live service game, you can't make anything else, or you need a dedicated team to do it. This is not a side project. It's not a spin-off. You have to treat it as your main bread and butter that's paying the bills, and they just didn't want to do it.
Of course they didn't. Sony didn't want to do it.
Wait a minute. Am I going to get in trouble?
Here's the thing. Insomniac could have done it. Here's the thing. Insomniac could have done it. The only thing they're doing is superhero games. That's pretty much it. We were lucky to get Ratchet and Clank. They were focusing on Spider-Man games, Spider-Man games, Spider-Man games. The fucking Wolverine game, whenever the hell that's supposed to be dropping. It's like, now we're only focusing on superhero games. Where are the new IPs? Like, I mean, we're having to look for indie developers to give us what AAA studios cannot do. Because PlayStation does not know what they're doing. Microsoft has them beat in so many ways. As far as what they can experiment on. Xbox can put more on multiplayer. They can put more on single player. They can reach and do different things. PlayStation cannot. They have to be very specific. They don't have money to blow. Microsoft does. And Nintendo, Nintendo's in their own league with what they do. Nintendo doesn't need third-party games. Nintendo gamers, such as myself, we support Nintendo and buy Nintendo games. I buy Xbox games. I buy PlayStation games. The problem is, I'm not buying remakes and remasters. I want new fucking games. I don't want a remaster of a 3-year-old game. I don't want a remaster of a 4-year-old game. I want a remaster of a 20-year-old game. Something that warrants a remaster. Not The Last of Us 1 and 2. Which was nothing more than just to scam you out of fucking money. Nothing more. Let's see what we have with this.
Be sure to like this video. Hopefully it does not disappear. But yeah, these are all the
like this video first, please.
Even this art looks so good. Spider-Man 2099.
I think he's about to fucking come all over himself over Spider-Man.
This game
okay.
Is so freaking good. But that's also the downside, is that think about all the amazing people that made. Obviously, I love Miles Morales. I love the original.
Oh, trust me, we know, fanboy. We know.
These people would not be making games like this anymore. They wouldn't be able to do that mix of big projects and small projects because
come on,
be perpetually stuck on new quests.
Oh,
new
Jesus
content,
Christ! Come on.
New stuff to keep people obviously logging.
I love the whole making excuses. Oh, if they did the online thing, then they wouldn't be able to do it. Really? So Sony's the only studio that's not capable of doing it. That has single player and multiplayer. Sony's the only company that's not capable of doing it. Nintendo with lesser powered hardware can run Sony out through the fucking ground. Spare me, the PlayStation 5 is this massive console of a fucking paperweight.
And that's why they apparently canceled Last of Us Factions. Is they're like, well, we don't want to stop making new Naughty Dog projects. It's just
what new Naughty Dog projects though?
Price to the industry.
The only thing they're doing is the Last of Us remasters. That's it.
5 possible games in the future. So another aspect of it that people are kind of not understanding. This guy, Game Logic IQ, he basically did this really good breakdown explaining that it's not just as easy as putting more characters in Spider-Man. Like, oh, they've already built New York, they've already made these villains, you can just pop some people in there. He basically talks about the fact that you got to redo the entire game engine to actually have multiple people, all sorts of stuff, and frame rate. Basically, he did a huge technical breakdown, basically being like, look, man, having 5 characters inside of a server, with microtransactions, with different variables to their costumes and action. And
Other games have been able to do it, yet Sony's not the only one that's not capable of doing it. I mean, I like Fortnite, but look what Fortnite can do. Battlefield. Like, come on.
I still think this is
It's just excuses, nothing more. Excuses.
In my opinion, very much been carrying the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Games like, obviously, the Spider-Man trilogy, Ratchet and Clank, these have been so incredible.
One Ratchet and Clank, by the way.
It was weird to me a couple weeks ago when they actually fired some developers.
Mm-hmm.
Insomniac. PlayStation did a round of layoffs. I did a video basically saying how much that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was, essentially, they fired anybody that was seemingly redundant or not needed. And
Okay.
that these firings were probably related to this. It's probably that once this game got canceled, for better or for worse, they realized, oh, we don't need this whole live service team.
Right, okay.
But I'm still sad about it, because I wish that they had taken those people and maybe shifted them to something else.
Yeah, like when they closed down their, I believe, London
I feel
studio.
like there is a rumor that behind the scenes,
Yeah.
PlayStation is still...
Sony is in fucking trouble. Seriously, they're in really big trouble.
Like, Helldivers 2 is a PlayStation project
Mm-hmm.
done by Arrowhead, and it's been incredibly lucrative. It's one of
Yes,
the
and
biggest
it's sold
games of the year.
better on
It is
PC.
live service,
And the only
it's
reason it
a
made so much
live
money is
service
because
they're
it
not
got
over
released
there
day and
until
date, PC
done
and
on your phone.
PS5.
Instead, it's like, hey,
If it had just been on PlayStation, half the PlayStation fanboys wouldn't have fucking bought the game. They'd rather be on Twitter whining about everything. It's talking about Xbox.
Kind of struggling with, okay, there's all that leaked footage of the Horizon Zero Dawn live service game.
Yeah, okay.
Last of Us One had some leaked footage as well. It sounds like PlayStation just doesn't know, how do you make people want to buy stuff and want to play it when it doesn't just have a standard single player story? That is a difficult thing. How do you get people addicted to something?
Nintendo and Microsoft can do it. Why can't Sony?
To add up. But I think at the end of the day, this will end up being better in the long run.
Right.
I think it looks fantastic, but
Okay, right,
Sony
okay.
has a good head on their shoulders. If they canceled it, it could have just been that, as complete as it looked, maybe it was like 5 years from launch. We wouldn't even be playing it till freaking the PlayStation 6. But
If there is
I
a
still
6,
think
right.
as a fan, it's fair for us to be incredibly disappointed. I like daring original projects. I like stuff that really pushes the boundaries. And multiplayer Spider-Man, I don't even know how that would work. Each of these people is so strong. They're going to have independent storylines, or they're going to do seasonal events focusing on the heroes. Stuff like that sounds so cool, but you know,
Well, it really doesn't matter now because it was canceled. Of course.
God of War, Last of Us, a lot of the stuff is really good at pulling
The same fucking games, yes.
So, it's probably a good choice, but as a fan, as a mega fan specifically of Spider-Man, this sucks. But what are you gonna do? How do you guys feel about this? Are you excited about
Nothing new to me. That's what Sony does.
Disappointed that it's just gone.
That's what Sony does. Nothing new.
Trailer, if you haven't already, it's all over social media. It's
I'm good.
Wild. It looks like a launch trailer, to be honest with you. The fact that this isn't coming out is perhaps the most confusing thing of all. But tell me your thoughts in the comments down
But
below.
Sony can somehow the fanboys will still make a way for Sony to still look even better than they did before. When Sony's
watched the video, and I don't know,
fucking
if I've
pitiful
gone
right
through
now.
this,
They really
because
are.
honestly, I just want to celebrate with my dad and eat long dinners once his taste buds are... Radiation really messes you up. Radiation and chemo completely burned out his taste buds, his throat, and his ears. He's having trouble hearing and talking, but that should come back. And then I want to kind of do a video with him at some point. I'm trying to brainstorm some ideas, because my dad has never seen a freaking video game in his life, really. He didn't like me playing video games, so I think it'd be funny to sit him down and be like, here is the newest next-gen stuff. But I'm rambling. Okay.
We already went through all this with your mother. Come on.
Keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video.
Thank God that one's done. Yeah, so again, another fanboy that's just going to always promote, and no matter what Sony does, they're always going to give them a slap on the wrist and a smack on the ass. Sony is in a very bad spot. Sony does not know what the fuck they're doing, and the PS5 is a paperweight, unfortunately. So, yeah, unless you want to play Call of Duty and Fortnite on it, and all them amazing exclusive fucking remasters, Honestly, my PS5 is really only for certain RPGs I can't get on Xbox. That's really all my PS5 is for. For my Final Fantasies and my specific ones. Then again, unlike a lot of the fanboys, I do go out and buy my exclusives for my consoles to support them. And that's why I spend more time working and playing than I do on Twitter. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up and a like. I'll see y'all in the next video. Heavy Metal Gamer out.